already commenting, so that's good. So with that, we will welcome to our last planning session. I hope that you are excited because I'm excited to deliver this last session. Yes, so today we will be talking about goal setting. So it's about setting goal. So there will be three things. One will be what are the goal setting process, and also preparation that you need, and what is the goal setting tool. So I will have a bit of time to show you how to actually use the tool. Okay. So these are the steps. You probably already know that there are three. So we are here on the goal setting session today. So yesterday, the first day, we talk about scenario. Once you have scenario, we talk about what are the recovery plan or strategy. Once you have that, we actually start focusing on how do we actually set a goal based on different scenario, and also how your entity can recover. So before you set a goal, you already have your scenario plan. And also by this time, your MCP already adapt this process for your entity because we onboarded your MCP in MCP Summit. So they're actually working on agenda and also planning tool. And we are suggesting to them to not change the planning tool. So whatever you get in this space, it will probably remain the same tool. So just make sure that you pay a lot of attention, as it will save you a lot of time later on when you're actually doing planning. And this is gonna be a capacity building space. That's why I mentioned very clearly that let's deliver this session together, because I'm gonna have a lot of working time for you. If you are not using your working time to actually do the activity, you basically would not learn anything from this session. So basically, you are the one who's gonna give yourself the answer mostly in this session. So is it cool? So if you're cool, like last time, what you can do is that you can give a reaction there. Like if it's yes, and then or no, or go slower, go faster, or more, or you want to share, you can raise hand. If you want to ask question, you can raise hand. So let's do it. So if you can see that right now, you can go to the participant there and then you can react. So I have 4 people react, so it would be good that you all can start clicking on it so that I can know that you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, you can type in group chat as well. Nice. Keep it going, people. A lot of thumbs up. Okay. Amazing. So hopefully the another 50 people who didn't react, you actually hear me. Okay. No need to act cool. It's a virtual space. Like, come on. You're not in a physical space. You don't have to act cool to impress your crush. Okay. So right now is that what is your entity scenario? So remember that yesterday, in recovery planning, we talk about there are 3 parts that you will go through. One is the part where you cannot do a change. And then another part is that you are preparing to resume a change, which is you cannot do a change yet, but you're preparing. When you can do a change, your entity actually have the capacity to deliver a change as soon as possible. And there's a period of time where you can do a change. So what it means is that, how does that actually will reflect on your goal? So it will actually reflect based on the scenario. So if you are at the stage where, for example, you think that on 1st of September, I can only do realization, which means that you probably will do attraction around June. Okay. So what it actually means is that before June, it will be a period of time where you cannot do a change. So in this case, you can see that your BD goal should be higher than the product goal, because your BD will not be able to generate revenue for you. So in this scenario, it's a lot about the money, income, where does it come from? Because you need to make sure that your entity can still survive or sustain, right? So with that, if you cannot do a change, you should have a bigger proportions of BD income than its product income. And then if you can actually preparing to do a change, you can focusing on balance. You can start to look into, okay, maybe you are still cannot do a change, so probably BD can be still a bit higher. It depends on your entity and the context, but you can start to look a bit of transition of the balance itself. And lastly, when you can do a change, you should be able to actually make sure to start going back to the old style, which is you focusing on product as a main income revenue generator. And then your BD can have lesser. So this is just a concept for you to understand on how does the ratio between BD income and product income can look like. But it's not a set in stone thing, because it really depends on your entity. Because what if you can actually still do a change? However, the amount of exchange is still not that high, because, for example, people are worried to travel. Then in this case, probably a higher allocation for BD income would be better choice. So is it clear so far for all of you? If you're clear, you can just react again, or you can type in the chat. Okay, nice. Thank you for responding. Really appreciate it. So let's go into the goal setting flow. Okay. So we're gonna say that there are 4 steps when you're gonna prepare to set goal for your product. First is that you need to do analysis consolidation. So whatever information you have before you set a goal, you need to know what are the data, what are the current context. And then after that, you look into what should be the focus and how would the timeline distribution looks like. And then after that, you will say, okay, how should I define my goal? Lastly, how should I validate my goal to make sure that this is the right goal? So I will go step by step. So before we start, so let's use this virtual flip chart. Isu, can you help me to type in a chart room for this link? So you can see that go to bit.ly/entity goal setting EGS-AP. Okay, I will do it. Wait. Oh yes, thank you, Isu. So when you can see is that you will go to something that look like this here. So what you need to do is that you click duplicate and then you put your entity and your name. So you can change it to entity and your name, okay? So just change to entity names because it could be a lot of people and something like that. Okay, I cannot even see myself. Okay, okay, you all get it lah. So I'll give you a bit of time to do it. Nice, keep it going. So we have 31 people open, but we have 67 people here. So another 60 people, make sure that you are also like duplicating it. If it's too much, what I would do is that I can make another copy. Then I think that if like it's too full, what you can do is that I will create another link and then you all can just do it there if you want to. I will just share. If you want to, you can just make a copy and then you can just edit it directly, okay? Let me do one more. Okay, here's also another link in case you're like, okay, that one is too full, you cannot like access it. This is also another extra link for you. So you can just add a tab here and here has lesser people, okay? Nice. If you're already clear with it, one entity, one person, one tab. So it should be your entity and then your name so that it can be like, you should have like, if you have 3 MCVP from Malaysia, for example, then you should have Malaysia person A, Malaysia person B and C. It's a individual activity. If you're done, you can react again so I can know. You can like click yes or thumbs up. Okay, cool. Amazing. Keep it going, people. Keep it going. Okay, so what you can see is that based on here, okay, we have 40 plus people checking on it. So okay, that's nice. Make sure that another 20 people who are not in yet, or 10 people, you taking this session seriously, because you will not get anything if you just want to listen to me, because there's not much to listen from me. It is a working time. So I think that's something that for you to be aware of, okay? So all right, so once you're done, okay, so let's look back to the screen, to my screen, okay? So let's focus on my spreadsheet. And then, so the thing is that along the way later in the session, I will go through this question. So what you need to do is that you will just need to answer it and then have a reflection time, okay? So how it's gonna be is that, are you all back to my Zoom screen? You cannot edit, you should be able to edit it, because if you duplicate yourself, you can edit it. You cannot edit the first tab. The rest can edit. You all cannot edit, because if you can duplicate, most likely you can edit. Can you edit the spreadsheet? Okay, someone need to reply me, because I have AI access, so I can access every spreadsheet. No, you cannot edit. Okay, most people can. So if you cannot edit, right, let me check on it. Maybe you are in a different spreadsheet because I create another one. So, okay, Khatijah, this is for everybody. If you put yourself the name, everyone has to like go through it yourself. So, Khatijah, calm down. This is okay. So, okay, I think there is my internet is not loading. Okay, cool. So if I check on it, it should be able to, yeah, everyone can edit it. And then for this one, no, this one is another one. Okay. Okay, let me check again, okay? Pasan, I think, okay, Pasan, I think if you cannot edit it, Isuru, can you personally message Pasan to understand why he cannot edit it, and I can move along with the sessions? Okay. Thanks, Min, for helping. So I will continue with the sessions. So people, so right now, this will be, okay. So everybody, so let's go back to the Zoom. I know that the spreadsheet has a lot of information. So do I have your attention? If yes, you can type yes, and then I will know. Or you can react. That's how I'm gonna know you're here. Oh, thank you for saying I'm here. Yes. Oh, thank you, Min. It sounds a bit creepy that you say that you are looking at me, but yeah. So how it's gonna be is that in overall this activity, you have a total of 20 minutes of individual work, and you will have 10 minutes of group debrief. So first thing is that you're answering some questions, and there are some questions that you need to answer during the planning. So maybe when you go through the question, probably you already have some answer. If you don't have the answer, it's fine. But it will be good for you to understand that, hey, I actually need to have this answer so that it can help me to plan better later on, okay? So right now, let's go with the first part, which is analysis consolidation. So this is an important progress to actually start the planning, the goal setting. This is a time for you to revisit all the analysis that you did, and also consider if there is any missing aspect of the analysis that still need to be done. And I think that throughout your whole goal setting process, you will constantly going back to your analysis to actually validate certain goal that you set or certain logic that you make when you are actually setting the goal. So you can actually use any tool and system, the analysis system that's most relevant for you. So in terms of analysis, you feel free to create any tool, feel free to do any additional analysis that you think that I need this information, then go for it. So here, I will give you 5-minute time, and here are the questions that you need to answer. So basically, these questions are the one that reflected in the spreadsheet as well. So basically, is what insight do I need on my stakeholder for effective goal setting? What data I already have, and which one I still need to get, and what effect does my scenario mapping have on the goal? What are the insights I need to know about my operation state? What kind of tool or methodology that I actually need to use so that I can consolidate my analysis? What do I have and what do I need to customize, and what are the factors that I need to consider when I define my timeline and goal, and how do I align me with my predecessor and my MCP for the goal? Because sometimes your predecessor may think that it makes sense to do this amount, but sometimes your MCP elect may think that, okay, it makes sense to do this amount. So it's good to cross check with that. So with that, you will go to the spreadsheet. I will give you 5-minute working time, and then you will just reflect, and then you will answer the question. So is it clear for all of you? Yes, okay. Yes, okay, cool. So if you have any questions, you can ask in the group chat, or you can unmute and ask the question directly. Thank you so much for responding. So let's go to the working time. Nice, nice. I will set a timer right now.
May do we put in the answers and the CTAs at the same time, or do we do only the answers for now?
I think you can do both. Along the way, when you do the prepared answer and then you have CTA, just fill in directly. So do both at the same time.
All right.
Thank you for asking.
I've got all these demons hiding underneath. Nobody can see them, nobody but me. And you're the reason, the only thing that keeps me from diving off the deep end. Because I've got all these demons, demons, demons. Well, at first I thought I'd have to bear this weight by myself. But when my knees were getting weak and I was in need of help, you were there to take away the pain that I felt. You're the only one that gave me hope. You're the only one who really knows. I've got all these demons hiding underneath. Nobody can see them, nobody but me. And you're the reason, the only thing that keeps me from diving off the deep end. Because I've got all these demons, demons, demons. For a moment I thought maybe I was doing alright, so I took your love for granted and I left you behind. And I just didn't understand you or what kept me alive. You forgave me and you gave me hope. Still you're the only one who really knows. I've got all these demons hiding underneath. Nobody can see them, nobody but me. And you're the reason, the only thing that keeps me from diving off the deep end. Because I've got all these demons, demons, demons. It's you pull me through it on the days when I have doubts. Even when I turn my back on you, you never let me down. And even when I hit the bottom, no, you didn't let me drown. I've got all these demons hiding underneath. Nobody can see them, nobody but me. And you're the reason, the only thing that keeps me from diving off the deep end. Because I've got all these demons, demons, demons. Because I've got all these demons, demons, demons. I keep my hands on myself. Pick up dust the more, put 'em back up on the shelf. Just a little baby girl isn't me. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. Let me kick it like it's 1986. Might be over now, but I feel it still. Got another mouth to feed. Even with the baby still, mama call a grave digger. Gone with the falling leaves. Am I coming out of left field? Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. I've been feeling it since 1966. Might have had your fill, but I feel it still. Ooh, I'm a rebel just for kicks. Let me kick it like it's 1986. Might be over now, I feel it still. We could fight a war for peace. Give in to that easy living, goodbye to my hopes and dreams. Stop flipping for my enemies. Or we could wait until the war's over. It's time to give a little to the kids in the middle. Oh, till it falls, won't bother me.
Okay, people, I will give you one more minute because I know that a lot of you are settled with the spreadsheet, so I will give extra 1 minute, okay? So that you can actually still continue to reflect on it. But later on, we will stick strict to 5 minutes because we will have extra time. Thank you. All right, people. So that's all for that. So right now we will go for the next part of the guiding questions. In the end, I will have a space for you all to share how was the process. But can you come back to the Zoom screen again? If you are back, can you also respond in the reactions and also the chat so I know that you're back? I will clear so you can react. Okay, you can click on the participant to let me know, okay, you're back so I know. Amazing. All right, good. Thank you so much for responding. Appreciate that. So the next part is the question where we're gonna talk about focus and timeline, okay? So it's important to define your focus and timeline to make sure that it mirror your plan scenario. I know that when you're gonna have a process of doing this activity, you might be asking question like, but I don't have a scenario show me, so I do not know exactly how can I reflect. So what you can do is that you can just imagine, okay, what would be the possible scenario right now? So you can just think on, if there's this kind of scenario, how should I do? How should the goal looks like? But if it's really hard for you to imagine a scenario, what you can do is that, okay, what is the thing that I need to know about the scenario so that I can align with my focus and timeline, okay? So make sure that you have a clear definition of your timeline and then refer back all the analysis that you consolidated, adjust, and consider all the factors that lead to your scenario. So we will have a working space for you in this space, but doesn't mean that you should stop doing it. Whenever you're gonna go to the next stage of your MC planning, you can refer to this guiding question again, okay? So here are some questions that you can answer. Basically is that if you already know your scenario or the information or the analysis, what are the information that you actually need to gather from your IR partner or from the potential market you're gonna work on? And also, what is your focus product for recovery? So this is more like the question for MCP to answer. So for question number 2, for you, you can actually answer more on what is the focus LC or what is the focus market and how would you actually define it, okay? And then in recovery, what percentage weightage does operation have and how do I plot that on timeline? So for that, you can think about, if I want to recover, what are the percentage that the operation should have and what are the percentage that other function can actually contribute. So it's okay that there are some question is mostly for MCP, but then you can also think about it because you're going to discuss that as MC team as well. So I think that it will be a really good perspective that you can bring to MCP. And also what factor that you need to think about when you define your timeline. How would your stakeholder timeline affect your operation timeline? For example, how will your entity partner will affect you? How will your university timeline affect you? And what was wrong previously with the timeline? Like what are the learning that you have for the past timeline? And how can you prioritize that? And also what changes do we need to have to actually implement it as you recover? And also how do I align with my predecessor and MCP about this timeline? So it's okay if there are some question that you feel like, okay, I don't have answer, it's fine. You can leave it empty, but then it can be some preparation. So when you answer the question, you think that, hey, I have some idea on how should I prepare, or I need to talk to these people, then you can write it down in your call to action. So is it clear? So we'll go for another 5 minutes for that. So if you're clear, you can react to me again in the participant, then I know. Okay, so there are more people putting clear. Cool. So I will give you another 5 minutes and then you will actually go through the process again, okay? So I will put 5 minutes. If you wonder where the question is in the spreadsheet. It's exactly the same, so just focus on the spreadsheet itself. I will show the time left. Okay.
시간을 뒤쫓는 시계바늘처럼 앞질러 가고 싶어 하지 그 어느 선을 넘어 저마다 삶을 향해 괴로운 원망도 하겠지 그 선을 먼저 넘지 말라고 I can fly the sky Never gonna stay 내가 이뤄질 때까지 어떤 이유도 어떤 변명도 지금 내겐 용기가 필요해 빛나지 않아도 내 꿈을 응원해 마지막을 가질 테니 부러진 것처럼 한 발로 뛰어도 난 나의 길을 갈 테니까 지금 나를 위한 약속 멈추지 않겠다고 또 하나를 앞지르면 곧 너의 뒤를 따라잡겠지 원하는 대로 나가질 거야 그게 바로 내 꿈일 테니까 변한 건 없어 버티고
May I have a question?
내 꿈도 질 테니 다시 시작해
Okay, so in the second question in focus timeline definition, there is what is my focus product for recovery and how will I define it? So focus product is understood, but how will I define it? Can you please explain that a bit?
I think for me is that the more relevant question for you to answer, it would be what would be your focus LC and also focus market or company. So it depends on what the product that you're running. So how we will define it is basically how should I define whether this is focused on or what are the criteria that you will use to help you to define it better. So did I answer your question?
Yeah, understood.
Because this
Thank you.
question was designed for MCP. Yeah, thank you.
다시는 나를 잃고 싶지 않아 내 전부를 걸었으니까 원하는 대로 나가질 거야 그게 바로 내 꿈일 테니까 변한 건 없어 버티고 버텨 내 꿈은 더 단단해질 테니 다시 시작해
All right, so times is up. So let's go for the next step of it, okay? So so for the next one, I just want to check, like, are you back to looking at the Zoom screen? If you are, you know what to do. You can put in the chat box. All right, thank you so much for responding. Yes, people, you got it. So for the next one would be goal definitions. For the goal definition is basically like based on the analysis and the timeline and everything that you consolidated so far, how would you define your goal? So for this question about like what are the criteria that you must take into account to define when is the maximum peak that your entity can have per month based on the scenario that you choose. So I know that the question is really depending on the scenario. However, you can think about what should be the criteria that can help you to define that my peak of realization should be here, or my peak of realization should be there. So because the thing is that most likely the reality is that you would not be like, if your country open the border, you will not be suddenly having like 200 realization in one shot. It will still take time. So if your country decided to open border at what time, how long do you think, how many months do you think it will take for you to reach a peak? I think this is also something that for you to really think about it. And also, how would your scenario would actually affect the forecasting goal in operation and BD. So for this, you can think about when you finalize your scenario with your MC team, how does the scenario actually will affect? So for example, imagine that if you're MC thinking to have realization in January, then how would it look like for your goal? And if you have decided to have realization only in June 2021, then how much your goal look like? How much reductions, how many percentage that you think it will look like? So you can write down how you're gonna calculate and help you think on it. And then also, how can I align with the BD and other function for goal definition? How can you align with your finance? How can you align with your BD, especially if that helps you with GT sales, if that happened? Or how can you align with your marketing so that you can actually make sure that your goal and your marketing goal, BD and finance are all aligned together? And then also, what is the capacity of my current and projected entity partner? Like, do you know anything about your entity partner? Do you think that how much they can do it? Do you have some idea or not? If you don't have, you can write down what are the things that I want to know from my IR partner. And also, what do you think that is the projected number of active LC to my goal definition? So how much of the number of active LC will actually affect your goal? How many LC that you think can survive this whole coronavirus situation? How many LC that you can actually work with to contribute to your goal? So I think this is some question for you to think on it. Okay. So with that, I will give you another 5-minute time for you to work on it. And if you have any question, you can just type in the chat. Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Let's go, people.
set me free again. We'll make a memory out of it. Holy rose at my back, don't look on, take me back again. We'll make a memory out of it. We finally fall apart and we break each other's hearts. If we wanna live young love, we better start today. It's gotta get easier, oh easier somehow. 'Cause I'm falling on easier and easier somehow. Oh, I'm calling, and it isn't over unless it is over. Well, I don't wanna wait for that. It's gotta get easier and easier somehow. But not today, not today. There she goes in front of me. Take my life, set me free again. We'll make a memory out of it. Holy rose at my back, don't look on, take me back again. We'll make a memory out of it. We finally fall apart and we break each other's hearts. If we wanna live young love, we better start today. It's gotta get easier, oh easier somehow. 'Cause I'm falling on easier and easier.
All right. So hopefully that working time allow you to reflect some of the things. So we will go to the last part of the process. Okay. So if you're here, you can click on the reaction again, so I can make sure that you're back to the screen. We have 69 participants, which is Gina's favorite number. So this okay, nice.
Correct.
All right. So the last one is goal validation. So this is a very interesting one because a lot of time when we set goal, we don't really validate it to make sure that this goal actually is realistic in terms of financially and also timeline wise, or even mostly financially. So with that, so basically what you need to ask yourself is that based on the goal that you set, or maybe right now if you have some idea on how much goal you want to have, what can I really implement based on the financial status? How do you know about how much reserve do you have? Do you know how much cost it takes to actually run this product? And also, how can you actually implement based on your HR capacity? Do you need more capacity, or you actually need the same amount of capacity, or you actually need lesser to achieve the goal? So it depends on you. What can I adapt now and what can postpone is basically like what is the thing that you need to adapt now and what is the decision that you can postpone later based on the scenario. And also, what do we need to change in terms of HR to achieve the goal? Do I need to change any pricing or financial policy in terms of based on your customer demand or partner preference to achieve the goal? What key adjustment I need to make sure that I have a complete goal setting process based on the thing that we educate you so far? And considering on these three layers of cannot do a change, preparations, and can do a change of my scenario, what is the thing that how should it reflect on my goal, and what will be the risk effect of the goal, and what plan do I have for mitigation? Which means that if you set like 200 realization, what will be the risk that may happen for this goal, and how can you actually plan to mitigate it? So so basically this will be another 5 minutes for you to go through it. My suggestion is that you cannot answer all questions at the same time, so just pick the question that you think that really interests you the most, okay, and prioritize on answer that question. So we will go for another 5 minute working time. So let's go. Okay, wait, I need to set time. Yeah, so let's start. Go back to your spreadsheet and start working on it.
Can't see the stars, but we're reaching. Trying to get through the dark, I'm feeling. Lost our gravity, now we're weightless. But I know in my heart we can take this. We got monsters in our closets, had a reason, but we lost it. No direction. We've been calling through the night, through the night. If love is a lie, then why do we need it? We swear we're alive, but we're falling to pieces. We fight like lions, we howl at the moon. We should be flying, except we bury the truth. But I know inside we're beautiful creatures. Beautiful. We're beautiful creatures. When your highs are low, keep the faith, yeah. 'Cause you know
May I have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, the second last question, considering the 3 layers, cannot do exchange, preparation to resume, can do exchange of my scenario. What do I need to adjust in my goal? Can you explain this a bit?
Yes. So what it means is that, but this question is mostly that you can think about when you're in MC planning. But right now, if you already kind of have some idea on when you cannot do a change and when you can do a change of your scenario, what is the thing that you need to adjust? So for example, if you cannot do a change, what are the goals? How will it look like? Maybe what happened is that you need to remove all the goal, but probably you can have some goal for pre-attraction, which means that you're preparing for a marketing goal, or you're preparing for goal to like start to approach partner for sales. So this kind of thing, it really depends on your timeline. But you can think from that perspective, which is like, what is the thing that I cannot do? What is the thing that I can still do in my functions during cannot do a change time? And would they reflect to any goal that I'm gonna set? Is that clear? And also preparation, what is the goal? Yeah. So I think that's something cool to look on.
Yeah, and the next question, so what are the risk effect? So these risks will be based on the previous three layers, right?
Yes, but also to look into is that if it's mostly about if you decided to set a goal on like 200 realization, right? How would it actually looks like when you implement it? What would be the risk happen? For example, what if there's reinfection because of your EP? Then how would you make sure that you can mitigate it? Even though you can do a change, but doesn't mean that it will be the same. You know what I mean? So when you set the goal, you also need to look into it. And also when you set marketing goal, if it happened on August or September, what would happen? Do you think that would the customer feel like you are insensitive because you're asking people to travel, or like what are the risks that you did minimize? So this is something that for you to think about.
Understood.
Okay, thanks for asking.
Standing tall, shaking off the dust. Oh, now we know what we made of. Ooh, we got monsters in our closets. Had a reason, but we lost it. No direction. We've been calling through the night.
All right. So that's all for the working space. I hope that this whole working space can be served as a consolidation for you, because you are being in a lot of session where there's a lot of downscaling. There's a lot of like, take note on this, take note on that, make sure you take care of this, make sure you take care of that, but you never really have a space to put things down. So hopefully this space can serve as a place for you to be clear and organize your thoughts, so that it helps you to feel like, okay, I got it and I know what can I do, what is the thing I need to prepare, okay? So with this, if you can give me a reaction again. If you're back here, you can click yes, no, or you can type in the chat so I know that you're back. You're looking at my screen right now. Okay, Mean the Cutest is here. So it's only Mean the Cutest. But what about the other? Yola is here as well. Rafael. There's one person who called Kaiwei, right? My brother's called Kaiwei as well. I know this is very random, but when I saw your name, I was feeling a bit awkward. Anyway, so this is the overview on like how would it looks like. So it will be a one-pager for you to refer to, but I'm not gonna go deep on it. So if you want to refer back, you can go to this slide. All the resources can be found in here, aies.ac/2021 plan material. So you can just go to the goal setting folder and then you can see all the information, okay? So next thing is that what I'm gonna talk about is goal setting tool. For the goal setting tool is that if you go to this link, which is aies.ac/2021 plan output, you can actually see that there is something called, there is something called template duplicate goal setting column. So you can actually see a tool that look like this, okay? So this is gonna be the tool that you will use for the goal setting. So what I would do is that I will ask, yes, thank you so much, Lucia. That's actually extremely useful. So if you can go to this. Do not duplicate anything. Do not do anything yet, because your MCP will be the one who duplicate it. So once they duplicate it, they will save it in your region and in the folder. So do not duplicate it. Just check on the link. If you want to make a copy, but save it in your own drive, because or else this whole drive will be full of your duplication and it's gonna be really messy. So don't duplicate it. If you want, duplicate to your own folder. Is that clear? So if you are clear with that, I will go with the briefing itself, okay? I know that you're gonna have lunch, so let's be more responsive to me. If you are clear, just tap yes so that you can eat lunch earlier, okay? I know that food is really important for us. Okay, nice. So right now, if you can see, is that what is the thing that you will find in the spreadsheet? There will be 5 things. There will be one is goal setting tab per product for timeline, okay? Another one is how would you set priority for your goal? And then after that, you will have BD and EVA goal setting. I will not talk anything about BD, but I will talk a bit about EVA. And then after that, we will have marketing goal setting tab. And also lastly, we have goal validation tab. So these are the 5 tabs that you can see in the spreadsheet, okay? So I will actually do a bit of simulation time. So what it means is that, because the thing is that I'm gonna brief different working tool for different product. So I will need your help, okay? If it's not about your function, you can choose not to pay attention. But when I say everybody need to pay attention, you need to go back to the screen. Is it clear? So right now, look at my screen, everybody. So right now, everyone is in the house. These, whatever I'm gonna explain to you next, it applies to everyone in this group chat, okay? So pay attention. Thank you so much for responding, huh? Okay, so let me go to the spreadsheet. I know that a lot of you are excited about spreadsheet. When I was MCP, I'm always very obsessed with it. Okay, so if you can see it here, okay, you can see that there is something called IGV goal setting tab, IGT, IGE goal setting tab. So basically, each product will have a goal setting tab. All the goal setting tab looks the same. So when all of you gonna set your goal, this is so all of you, when you want to set your goal, first what you need to do is that you need to define what would be the realization for each scenario. If you are in scenario 1, which means that when you define that scenario 1 is when I can do a change in September, realization in September. Scenario 2, you define that I can do realization in January. Then what would be the number? So you put the number, okay? When you see yellow tab, yellow column, it means that you can edit it. If you see gray, it means that do not edit it. The simple way for you to know whether you can edit it or not is go to the tab. You will see that there's a formula. Don't edit it, okay? Because there is a formula already. So first, you put down your goal. After you put down your goal, you put down your conversions. So you put scenario 1, conversion is this. And then you put scenario 2. Scenario 2 conversion is what? And then you put scenario 3 and what would be the conversion. And then from there will be formula calculated by itself. Is it clear? So if you are planning for scenario 1, you can put the scenario 1 conversion, okay? Most likely your conversion won't change much, but it depends on your entity context. And then after that, you will go with timeline distribution. So timeline distribution is basically based on different scenario, you may have different timeline. Okay, give me a second, okay? I realize that my laptop may be trying to reconnect again. Okay, So my laptop is a bit stuck, but you can still hear my voice because I'm using 2 different outlets. I hate shit. Okay, mean you are very rude. Okay, so welcome back. I hope that 1 minute break give you a bit like, I do not know lah. You can eat rice paper if you're really hungry. So if you can see that, first is you set your goal, you put your conversion, and then you put your timeline. So your timeline distribution is the thing that it will make a lot of difference. So basically how much my open should be. So this is the part where you can actually define your peak time. So if you can do a change in September, then it means that realization will peak in September time. But if you're doing it in January, then it will peak here. So most likely you will just do winter peak because you are next term. So you can think about that, okay? And a different scenario will have different timeline. Once you have the timeline, this is the part where the magic happens. Do you see it's all gray? It will tabulate by itself. So it's just like that. It will come out by itself. So it's very amazing. So what you need to do is that, for example, if I change scenario, once I fill in that, it will change the amount as well. See? If I go back, it's a different amount, and then now it's different amount. So everything will come out by itself. And then after that, what you need is that you just need to put who is my IR partner and how would the goal distribution looks like for my IR partner. Maybe someone do it with Indonesia, and then you put 20%, and then it will reflect here how much is the goal. And then after that, you can put how much was the past term realization. Then you can see whether it's growing or dropping. So for example, 1920 you are doing 100, and then 2021 you're doing 280. Normally you will do it lower because of coronavirus, so maybe you drop 6%. Then you can know that, okay, what should be the main focus I have with this IR partner and which LC I should partner with. So that's the first step. So is everybody clear? Love automatic shit. Okay, yes. You can thank Ayo. Ayo is the RD of Mia and also the OD Cedar. So that's the first type, okay? Are you all clear? Is it good to go? You need to be more responsive because it's your lunchtime. Every time when I read feedback, people are like, don't use our lunchtime. And I feel very stressful right now because I will be delayed. For sure. I can really see it. So I'm sorry. You can give me feedback, okay? So right now, the next step will be is something that I will tell the OGV people. So for OGV people, you can pay attention now. For the rest of the people, what you can do is you can take this time to read your tab, to read your spreadsheet. You can just discover, you can read it. If you want to edit it, just make a copy so that you can edit and try it out yourself. But save it in your own drive, okay? So this is the part where I need OGV attention. So for OGV people, or if you are working on OGX or marketing and you are doing OGV together, I do not know, just check on it, okay? So for OGV people, if you can see that, is that if you go to a tab, it's called OGV, right? So this is a tab called goal prioritization. So for this specifically is that you will actually need to adjust. Goal prioritization for each product is different. For your case is that first you would prioritize goal based on 2 semesters, semester 1 and semester 2. So semester 1 is from August until January, okay? So first you need to define is that what are the tier. So you need to set tier. So tier, it can be either from your LC performance, how much percentage you are expecting that this tier 1 LC contributing, tier 2 LC contributing, and tier 3 and 4. So this is the part where you can put your distribution of your formula. And you need to make sure that in the end it's 100%. Because if it's more than 100%, which means that you are having an imaginary contribution from someone, somewhere from the universe, but no one is actually doing it. You can also put tier based on your market as well, or based on your customer profile. It depends on you. You can think about market. There are some market or university that is actually can contribute more, then you can set it this way. So it's up to you to define your tier. So it's the same for semester 2 as well, okay? Because in case sometimes your winter peak and summer peak may have different market, then you probably have some LC has more market in summer peak, some LC has more market in winter peak, then your tier will change for the LC and then the contribution may change as well. So that's one thing for you to understand. Second thing is that what you can see that these things are all formulated. It's linked to the goal setting formula, so don't change it. So D is up to you. If your MC want to use this to track your performance, then you can update it consistently. But in planning, you do not need to update D because D means done, P is plan, okay? But then, so basically from there, you can also kind of already have everything. So for you, the process is pretty simple. You just need to do a distribution. Once you've done the distribution, it will reflect directly in your goal here. Like everything will be reflected here. If you change it to like, oh, I cannot change it. Okay, they lock it already. Okay, anyway, you can make a duplication and then you can change it there. So this is something for you to do. Is it clear for OGV? That's all for OGV. So OGV, you can continue to explore the spreadsheet by yourself, okay? So right now, I will talk to IGV. Who are the IGV? If you are here, can you just give me some response? Like, raise hand. Oh, nice. Madhu, raise hand. All right, IGV people. Oh my God, used to be the popular kids, huh? Hey, it's okay. You'll always be popular. So what happened is that for IGV, okay, for IGV, it's a bit more detailed. So for IGV, you go to the IGV tab. Do you see it here? So for you, you are focusing on global project. So what you need to do is that, okay, your IGV should be aligned to global project. If you're not, seriously, please make it, because your quality is really important. So first you can choose, okay, what are the global project? What is it? And then you can put it. So for me, it's like, okay, for global project 2 is like 4.4. And then you can put distribution. In the end, it will be the same. You need to make sure that it's 100%. So maybe you run 2 global projects. So you have 5.1, 40%, 4.4, 20%. And then others is basically, you know how to count out like 40%. So it can be other global projects. So you can put your SDG target if you have other global projects. Is that cool? So from there, what you need to do is that the thing that is not formulated here is the partner plan and progress. So if you have PD for IGV, or if as IGV, you're managing PD, this is a place where you need to set a goal, which means that how many leads you need to generate to approach and also to sign a contract. So you can have your own conversion, and then you can set the goal by yourself. And then after that, the rest, it will be all formulated based on the goal setting tab that you have. So in the end, you also need to set the goal for your global host as well. How much global host lead I need to have, applicant, and approved. You do not need to update anything for done, because it's basically when you have result, then only you can update it. So in planning, just finish all the column that has planned. And then that's for the semester 1. And then for semester 2, it's the same as well. So you also need to just put the goal, and then you can distribute. So in the end, it will show you that based on each global project, how would your lead look like for the goal setting, and also how would the goal look like for each month for under each project. Is it clear for IGV people? So that's all for IGV. You clear? So you have global host that you need to set goal, partner plan, and then put goal according to global project. Amazing. So the next one will be OGT. So for OGT, I will brief both OGTA and OGTE together. But if you are like, oh my God, I don't care about OGTA because I only run OGT, okay, feel free to just listen to the part of OGTA. So for OGT part, okay, who is the new hot baby? Okay, yes. So for people who feel like you need to read now, when I'm briefing another function, you read your own function. So later on, you can write down questions. So write down any question that you have, and then after that, I will open some space for us to ask questions. But we are delayed, so I'm really concerned right now. I will tell Phileas to adjust the agenda a bit. So for OGT, are you here? Are you back to the screen for OGT? Okay, cool. I almost thought that there's no one run OGT in AP because there are only 4 people. Okay. So for OGT, what you need to do is simple, okay? So if you go here, you can see that there are OGTE and OGTA. So for OGTE, let's go with OGTA first. For OGTA, when you set goal for GT in general, there are 3 parts: short term, medium term, and long term. Short term are for 6 to 12 week opportunity. Medium term is 13 to 26, and then long term is 27 to 78. So basically what you need to do is that based on the opportunity and the time range, how would the distribution looks like? So in the end, it should be reflect to 100. So based on your plan, on your market, you think that, oh, most likely my market are interested in this one. And then this one is actually only like 15. Then you make your adjustment. Okay, obviously I'm not good in math. So then this could be the final. If you have short term, then you can adjust it. So this is the part that you need to adjust. When you adjust it, it will reflect it in the goal setting here. All these things are formulated. So it already linked to the goal setting tab. So it will just come up by itself. So you don't have to do anything here. If you put a distribution in short term, you will see the goal reflected here as well. But then what you need to do is that you need to plan on how would your partner set goal, which is the lead, first contact, appointment, contract, and opens. So this is the part where you need to put, okay, so for short term, how many opens I have? Since you put 0%, you should not have any opens. But here 25, then you do your own math, and then you calculate how many leads based on your own conversion. And then after you've done that, it's basically repeating it for each month. And then after that, semester 2 is the same progress again. So you set the distribution for short term, medium term, and long term distribution on that, and then you set the goal for partner plan, and then youth, it will reflect by itself. For GTE is a bit different, because why is that GTA has two types, right? One is IT and engineering, and then business and marketing. But then for GTE, you only have teaching. So just that you just need to put distribution for short term, and then the duration distribution, and then after that, as same as the GTA, you just plan for lead, first contact, appointment, and then also it will reflect by itself. So you just need to plan this part, and then this is just done. For done, you can just update it when you start to implement and start to have result. So in the end, you should set a goal for partner plan progress in each month. Okay, so that's the part that you need to do for GTA GTE. Is it clear? So you can spend time to read it. Okay, the next one will be IGTA and IGTE. So for GTA and IGTE, this is the time for you to pay attention, okay? If you're here, just put it here. Oh my God, did I just brief IGT instead of OGT? I fucked it up. I'm so sorry. Okay, this is what happens when you get old. But thank you for IGT people who pay attention. Anyway, you have recording, so just watch the recording and you can give me feedback, okay? Okay, so for GTE, OGTE, and OGTA, I'm sorry, this is the time. So basically, it's the same as IGT, which is you distribute for OGTE. It's the same, which is you distribute based on the duration. The only difference is here. So you are planning for sign up, applicant, accept, approval. But you do not need to set the goal, because once you put your conversion in the goal setting, it will automatically count by itself. So the only thing you need to fill in is just this distribution. The rest will count by itself, and also update done once you have result. For GTA is similar in the sense of the distribution will be looked into IT engineering, business, marketing, and then the duration. So that's the distribution itself. But the rest is the same. You don't need to adjust anything, because you already have all formula duplicate by yourself. So that's for GTA GTE. Is that clear? Oh my God. Thank you, people. So with that, I will go with the next part, which is marketing. So any marketing in the house? Marketing people? Here, nice. Oh my God, you are niece favorite people. So for marketing, what you need to do is that first you need to look into for the product, how would your sign up and applicant go look like, and put the number of scenario 1. So you will look that there's scenario 1 here, scenario 2 here, and scenario 3 here. So make sure that you are putting your sign up applicant goal. And this should be aligned to the goal that under OGTA. You know what I mean? So if you see that, for example, sign up is a particular number, your goal should be aligned on it. So make sure that there's a clear alignment on that. And also for here, you can see that there's a distribution of the channel. So most likely you should have lesser offline, because coronavirus or whatever, probably you won't have that much. So make sure that it's all adjusted and you have 100%. And then for investment, basically, you just need to talk to finance to make sure that to cross-check on, okay, how much cost you need to have for doing this. And you also need to know how much cost, so that in the end, we know how much money it was spent based on the different channel that you are using. Because this money is going to help you to understand on what is the profit for each product. And then same as OGTE and OGTA, okay? So that's for marketing. So for you, is on the vertical way, scenario 1, 2, and 3, okay? So that's for marketing. So with that, right now is everybody. So everyone, I want you to come back again, and I will brief you something for everyone to know. So people, can you come back here? If you're here, can you just give me a reaction? Okay, we have OGV, marketing, IGV. Okay, let's hear from GTA people, GTE. Okay, nice. So I see most of you are here. So what is gonna happen is that this is the interesting part. Once you set a goal, you need to do semester 1 goal validation and semester 2 validation. How you're gonna do it is that first, because first you need to make sure that you understand that how much money you are charging per OP and realization. If there's different, then you put it differently. And then if you are charging training fee for IGV, then you put here. But you should not charge. But if you charge, yeah, you can put it here. And then also this is basically the direct cost. So this is the part where you need to work with your MCVP finance. Basically, the point is that based on the formula that it come up with for each month, in the end, you will know how much money you are spending in total. So you know that are you making a profit or you are making a loss. So you can see that here. for August, right, you can see that, okay, this is the money part, and then this is for the OGX. So this is ICX, and this is OGX. So it's the same. It's all about pricing, and then it will times with your number, your realization, or for ICX, it will times with the number of opens that you have, how much money you spend to that, what is the direct cost for each product, each exchange that you have, and then after that, what are the profit. So in the end, you will know about the product profit. So that's all with that. So is it clear? So this is the point where you will understand on, based on the goal that you set, are you making money or not every month? And also in total, are you actually making money or not? Because if you realize that the goal that you set is making loss, then oh my God, don't do that. That's all. And then after that, after you finalize the semester one, what you need to do is that you need to go to scenario validation. So scenario validation is very interesting. It helps you to check if your goal setting makes sense or not. So when you want to check scenario one, you need to make sure that all the tabs are in scenario one, which means that you need to go to BD there, you need to update here to put scenario one. And then you need to go to product, and then you need to make sure that it goes scenario one so that the data won't be messed up. So first you need to make sure everything is in scenario one when you check on it. And then what you're gonna do is that you're gonna check, okay, so if August, September, October, if I cannot do exchange until this period of time, until probably like November, okay? If I can do exchange preparation the same, August, September, October, November. Then you can do exchange in December, January, February, March. So you put this here, it will auto count it by yourself. Basically, you just need to check on it. And then what happens is that you will see the money. So remember, I told you that if you cannot do exchange, your BD distribution should be higher than the product. So right now, look, when you cannot do exchange, your BD actually have more revenue, which means that when you plan the goal, you are setting a very high goal, like you're setting a lot of opens. You are setting a lot of revenue for your product, which it doesn't make sense because you're not gonna have results. You know what I mean? So when you go through this with your team, you need to tell BD like, okay, first BD, you need to increase your goal. Second product, you need to reduce your goal because already make it clear that you cannot do exchange until November. And how come your November are having this money? Like, where do you get the money? So you need to reset the goal. But then from here, it's also the same as well. It should be with some balance. And then for this one, wait, I don't know why this is not. Oh yeah, there's some. Wait. So if you see it here, then it could be like, wait, let me check on this one. Probably there's some mistake. Yeah, so you can see that yeah, this is so little that yeah, you are estimate a lot of product, but it may not be the safest one because you are like, okay, I have 100% from product, but what if my volume will not be that high? So what if I also still need some percentage of BD to balance it out? Then this is the time for you to validate that. Is that clear? So this is help you to cross-check when you plan the goal. Are you like making sense or not? And I want you to understand is that yeah, don't worry, when you become AI, you will learn this, okay? Just apply for AI. So one thing that you need to understand is that this is just for you to cross-check so that to make sure that your logic is good. So I will recap the whole thing because I know it's a lot. I'm so sorry if it delay, okay? I'm really sorry. So right now is that all the resources can be found here. There will be one video that explains detail for you to know how to use it, okay? And then also for you to understand how can you use the spreadsheet. Rules of engagement. If the color of the column is gray, do not touch it because it's automatic. You should not adjust anything. You should not delete a tab because once you do that, it fucks up all the formula. You know what I mean? Because we link everything together. So if you do not need the tab, if you don't run the product, hide it. If it doesn't apply to you, hide it, okay? If it's yellow, you can touch it, okay? Because it's for you to edit. If you actually want to use it, then keep the tab. So make sure that you never delete a tab because it will fuck up all the formula. And also make sure that, remember to set goal for each scenario. At least make sure that you set goal for 2 scenarios. If it's too much for 3 scenarios, at least 2 scenarios, okay? And then this is a tool that you must use. You cannot choose not to use it because we already designed all the thought process for you to test on it, okay? So right now, I already asked you to go through it because we don't have time. I'm gonna open a consultancy space so you can ask me more questions, but right now I can open for like 2 to 3 questions. So do you have any questions so far, like based on this? Like you can type it in the chat if you have any question, or you can ask me directly. Clear? Oh, okay. Nice. So if you have question, right, you can always ask me, okay? So so we actually want to have a group sharing, but I think that due to lack of time, I will not have this part so that you can actually eat lunch. I'm really sorry about this, but I think that something that I want you all to share, if you have a chance, is that what are you do like later in your tribe, if you want to talk more about it with your tribe group to schedule another meeting, you can do that, which is what is the thing that you can learn from other people when they are setting goal, and what's the thing that you still need to learn so that you can be better prepared for your goal setting, and what are the meeting and conversation you need to do with IR partner, your MC team, with your finance or your MCP before you set your goal so that you can have a proper goal setting process. Because right now is that it's not just about realization number anymore. As an organization, we need to have money to survive. So you cannot be like, I want to do 1,000 realization without knowing that how much money you're going to spend on it. And does it make sense for your entity to achieve or not? Because right now we need money to keep the organization going. Of course, all these numbers are also the reflection of impact, but don't do it on the expense of the sustainability of your organization. Lastly, these are actually the link for your goal submission. So you need to submit all the survey, ready tell your MCP. If you are not running the product, choose no. Your MCP can be one who coordinate it, but make sure that you remind your MCP to submit all the survey so that we know who is submitting it or not. Because if you submit this survey, then only you can apply for IPM or IC awards. It's a criteria. So make sure that your people are submitted on time, okay? Or else you cannot win an award. And these are the planning principles that I mentioned before. And then make sure that you submit your goal setting and also your MC plan. So that's all with that. So I'm so sorry that it takes your time. But if you have any question, please write to me. And if you want to know anything, please write to me as well. So let me give me a second. I will ask what time you can actually go for eating. Wait, is Phileas here? Phileas is not here, right? Okay, Pips. So you should be able to finish your, let me check on it, lunchtime at, let me go for it. You should finish your lunch at 3:15. But I think that you can probably come back at 3. Gina, what to do, because Phileas is not here.
Okay, so I think what we can do is, because we are delayed for 15 minutes, so maybe we can come back at 3:30.
Okay, so let's come back for 3:30. So you have exact like almost 1 hour time for you to rest. So I'm really sorry for the delay. So we will probably cut down some break in between. So I'm really sorry about that, because I know